What is up, everybody? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, The Hot Commodity, and joined by my friend and co-host. Introduce yourself, sir.
Me, Christian, talking about some Monday Night Raw. I've kind of liked the way they've gone from 3 hours to 2 hours. Just because it's shorter, we don't get too much of the filler matches that we would on a 3 hour show. So this was okay, not too crazy. I think the better Raws are coming closer towards War Games. So yeah.
Yeah, it's always like this time when WWE kind of goes through their sort
And
of
then
like,
because they're going, they hit WrestleMania, and then now they're preparing for WrestleMania. So once
yeah,
once January comes, because they're gonna take a shit, not shit, but like it's gonna be less interesting even after War Games. So once
mhm.
January comes, once they finish that holiday tour, and then they do the Royal Rumble, and that's when WWE is gonna be fucking good again.
I'm
Casino,
nervous though.
Netflix, Roman, The
The
Rock.
Rumble is like not until February, and then even WrestleMania is like the end of April.
Yeah, it's 420.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's in Vegas on 420.
Yes, bitch. Represent if you're a pot smoker, represent on
Dude,
420.
Vegas is gonna be crazy on 420
Mm.
because it's April 19th and 20th. So that Sunday, bro, holy shit, Vegas is gonna be the
If
hot
Rob
spot.
Van Dam doesn't compete at WrestleMania 41 on April 20th, then
No, I know, right? Come on.
I will not watch.
Matt
But
Riddle fucked up. He could have had the match. Him versus RVD
he
420
sure could
street
have.
fight.
That would have been the battle of the best smoker.
420 street fight.
Winner grabs the blunt. Um, So we're covering WWE Monday Night Raw from October 14th, 2024. Again, they were in St. Louis last week, and they're in there again because it's a taped show. Rhea Ripley comes out to start the show and calls out Liv Morgan and Dominic
I didn't even
Mysterio.
realize it was taped
Yeah, it was taped. Yep,
because
it
they're
was
in
taped last.
Manchester. That's right.
Yep. And I think I've been seeing stuff online, and I don't want to spoil anything about SmackDown with Cody Rhodes.
Was
And
that taped too?
I'm guessing because there was, I guess I can say this. Spoiler alert, if you don't want to listen, turn off now.
I'm
And
not even gonna be. I'm not even gonna have time to watch SmackDown Friday.
come
So
back on in a good 30 seconds. Starting now. Cody Rhodes was in the ring with, it was Cody, the UFC champion, and Gunther on SmackDown. Uh,
oh,
so I'm guessing it's taped because someone posted that picture. So uh,
interesting.
I don't know why they're taping. Is it because they're
They're
traveling
doing
so far
they're
away?
doing a live show in England,
Oh,
Manchester.
gotcha. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, our England fans can enjoy that. Cool. So, Rhea
They have Solo versus Cody booked for the Universal title.
still in. That's the main event for the live show.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, they've done that at the pay-per-view. So,
yeah, exactly.
but we get Rhea Ripley. She calls out Liv, Dominic, and Raquel, but she doesn't get them. She gets Miss Money in the Bank, Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany says, "This is my message from our queen. Stay out of our business or there will be big problems." Rhea says, "I can welcome you back to Raw my way." They argue, but then Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez attack both Rhea and Tiffany from behind. And from the get go, I like this setup here with Rhea and Tiffany. It's obviously going to lead to them teaming up later. But well, I know you're not a Tiffany fan, so
I
let me
mean, it
know.
was kind of surprising to see her on SmackDown, or on Raw, excuse me. But I ultimately think she's gonna cash in on Nia. Um, but it's a good mix up. These guys are, getting ready for Crown Jewel, so they have to go on other brands. So
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't expect when SmackDown though. I didn't expect Rhea to show up and do that thing.
Yeah, yeah, that was cool. And I heard, I mean, this isn't really a spoiler, but I also heard that they're going to keep doing this, having people from Raw and SmackDown continue going back and forth until they get to to Crown Jewel.
Yeah, because the Raw I was gonna go to now they just announced Cody.
Yep.
So
So they're going to be what? The upcoming year. Ant's asking if there's going to be a draft. I'm assuming.
I hope not, but I am assuming.
I think the draft was what, April?
Uh, isn't it like right before WrestleMania?
It
Or
was
no, it's right
before,
after. It's right after WrestleMania,
yeah.
I think.
So it's like a year. See, it never works. It never works. Even in the video game, it doesn't work, which I've been playing. You and I have to play.
Yeah, I know.
Um, but even like it never works because you get tired of the same people on the same show, and then it's like they move and they go. And so, but let's move on though to the women's tag team titles on the line. Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair defending against Damage Control. Kyrie Sane, excuse me, who lands a flying crossbody to Jade Cargill on the floor. Jade lands a backbreaker to Kyrie and a power bomb for a 2. Io drops Kyrie Sane, who lands a flying elbow on top of Bianca Belair. That was really cool. She just like dropped her in the middle of the air, midair. I sound like a foreign exchange student. Um, the end comes though when Metaphor, who's at ringside, they punch Io Sky and Bianca hits Io with a KOD. And Bianca and Jade retain the titles with some help there from Metaphor. I will say Jakara Jackson's very attractive. Lash Legend is too, but she's very,
Oh
it's
yeah,
like
no, yeah, she's hot as fuck. Not Last Legend, the other chick. And I don't like
Jakara,
black
yeah.
girls. Yeah, I don't like black girls, but she's hot.
Jakara is very attractive, and they're gonna get a title shot, so why not have them do that? But what do you think of the match?
I mean, it was weird because they like Kevin Owens. Oh wait, I was on SmackDown. I'm stupid. Um, it was a good match. It was short as fuck though, wasn't it? It was like 3 minutes.
Yeah, it was. I mean, all these matches are pretty short.
I mean, it was good for them to go on the main roster, get some exposure.
Mm-hmm. Um, Next we see World Tag Team Champions JD McDonough and Finn Balor talking to Adam Pearce backstage. Adam Pearce informs them that he's setting up a tag team tournament match, whereas will compete for the titles. And then this is pretty funny. Liv and Dominic introduce the Judgment Day to Raquel. Carlio drops his apple, and we're gonna get this is gonna be some funny stuff. Or if Carlio is still in Judgment Day, another spoiler alert. There's rumors that he is supposedly going to be taken out of the group. But
Interesting.
so far, though, I like this little funny where he's into Raquel, and Raquel is attractive. Thoughts on
Yeah,
that?
she's hot. She's just horrible.
Yeah. Well, I
She's
mean,
boring.
she's boring. She's been out for a while.
She's never been interesting. She's just been the back muscle girl.
I love Raquel. Her in her NXT days, man.
Her NXT days, she was badass.
Yeah.
Too bad she can't be like that anymore. Same thing with Bianca Belair. She was so badass in NXT, and now the only person that got more badass in the main roster is Rhea Ripley, and that women's group in that era. Because Io Sky is not that great. She's only good in the ring. She's not like you can't connect with her in it. Like Rhea Ripley's the only one that truly like elevated in that group from NXT. In my opinion, at least.
Elevate me to the sky.
Whoa!
I agree. Yeah, Rhea's definitely been, but I do think EO's good. It is a language barrier, but
Oh yeah, for sure. And
we
I'm
didn't
not
get.
discrediting her, and I'm not making fun of her for it. It's the truth. You know, the
By
pro
the way,
wrestling's not all about in
shout
the
out to
ring.
Natalia.
Yes, she follows me on Twitter. Shout out to Natalia.
Love Natalia. That's my girl. And
She follows me on Twitter and Instagram, I think.
when we were watching the Royal Rumble, and I think it was the first time Ian and I were watching it, and Natalia came out, he like wanted her to win and everything. And I was like, Ian, she's not gonna win.
I was like, yeah, oh my god. I would have been like, yeah.
And I was like, they're not gonna give it to her. I wish she would, but they're not. But I love Natalia. Moving on, we get a promo from Bron Breakker, and he says, Jey, you lucked out when you beat me. Out of respect, I shook your hand. You thought you threw it back in my face. You didn't say you respected me. We're not the same. I don't need my family's help. One day when I surpass my family, they will respect me. You've sucked off your family's name for 4 years. I'm coming back for my title. Your family cannot save you from me. A very strong promo here. Any thoughts? Do you think he's telling the truth? Is Jey using his family?
I don't know. He hasn't been connected with them for a while. He literally wants nothing to do with his own brother. I don't think so.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think Braun's doing a lot of good stuff, and I think this is. I like how they're pulling it as like we're all like generational talents, and now we're gonna see sort of like family versus family. It has been
Right,
Italian,
yeah.
Charlotte, fun stuff. Adam Pearce meets with Bronson Reed, and Bronson wants a match with Seth Rollins. He wants the spotlight to show that he is the top guy, and he believes taking out Seth Rollins will give him that. We'll talk about that in a minute because we'll hear from Seth Rollins. We have our tag team tournament first round match, Alpha Academy, with Maxine Dupree, who continues to look great all the time.
She's fucking, oh my God, she's so fun.
Great. They're taking on the War Raiders, which I was so happy to see. They're now the War Raiders.
Yeah, I know, it's
Viking
cool.
experience, the Viking Raiders. They're just no Sarah Logan, no Valhalla, which was sad. But you know, she's
No,
resting.
that's a good thing.
She's resting to come back in the winter to tear everything down. So Eric slams Ivar onto Akira Tozawa, and then War Raiders toss. They land a tossing crossbody combo to Tozawa, and the War Raiders get a quick victory. Thoughts?
Good to see the Royal Raiders back, but
Yeah,
that's it.
yeah. Adam Pearce talks to Seth Rollins backstage. Seth says, I've slayed beasts, conquered kings, and I like to hunt a monster. He tried to ruin my life. I need this fight if you want the best version of Seth Rollins. So both men pretty much, want different things. Bronson wants the spotlight from Seth. Seth wants to find the best version of himself. And they both think that by beating the other, that's how they're going to get what they want. So I like how that, kind of makes sense.
That's my goat.
Yeah, I hope Seth wins. He probably will. He's gonna. I mean, he beat Brock Lesnar, so I mean, why wouldn't he
He's
be able
my
to beat
fucking
Bronson
goat.
Reed? But next up, we have WWE Champion Cody Rhodes coming out to the ring. Cody says, "St. Louis, what do you want to talk about?" And then World Champion
Corny.
comes out. Gunther says, "There's not much negative to say about you. This sport is in a boom period, and it's built on your back. You're the quarterback of this operation. I respect you, but you love to be everyone's darling." Kevin Owens realized everyone's friend is no one's real friend. I expect the best version of Cody Rhodes at Crown Jewel. Cody says, I'm not surrounded by friends. I've seen what happens when you fight and people come back. You break. You think you're swimming in the deep pool, but your feet haven't touched the bottom. We've never fought one on one. And then Gunther says, spoken like a second rate champion. Cody says, I've beaten the greatest champion and slayed the beast. And then they shake hands. Pretty good promo here from both, with, Gunther, of course, having the mocking style of like, yeah, we'll see what happens. But what did you think?
Yeah, it was okay. I think it's going to be a good match. We've never seen this before. Um, it's going to be really hard to see who goes over here. I think these are two guys who can't afford a loss. If Cody loses, he's going to look really weak. Same thing with Gunther because it's just unrealistic for him. But it's like, yeah, it's going to be a tough one to pick, but decent promo. We're going to have to see how this plays out. It has to get more physical.
I feel like Cody's going to win, but I want Gunther to win.
Yeah.
Next, we've got Kofi Kingston versus Bron Breakker. Kofi lands a springboard drop kick. Kofi then lands the SOS for a 2. Bron hits a belly-to-belly and a devastating spear, and Bron gets the win. After Xavier Woods helps Kofi Kingston, but then Bron takes out Woods. Intercontinental Champion Jey Uso comes out, lands a super kick and a spear to Bron, and then super kicks Bron off the apron, and Woods is upset about this. More stuff. Obviously, we're going to get Jey and Bron Breakker down the road. Thoughts?
Fuck. Sorry, I'm playing this game right now, and this guy's talking shit.
That's all right. That we can move on because that wasn't really.
No, yeah, I didn't care about that.
Yeah. We then have R-Truth taking on The Miz. R offers his hand to shake, but then We get a Wyatt 6 logo, which is interesting that it happens during this match. The Final Testament come out. R-Truth throws off the Miz, and then R-Truth gets the win. He tries to hug the Miz after the match. Final Testament grab R-Truth, and then the Miz hits him with a skull-crushing finale. Silly, stupid stuff, but what's more important is what happened before the match. Jey Uso walks into his dressing room, and Jimmy Uso is sitting, and he wants to talk to Jey, and Jey leaves. After the match, Jimmy asks Jey to hear him out, and Jey says no. So both Roman and Jey don't want to work together. They don't want to work with Jimmy. What is your thoughts on that?
I called it. Like I think it's because of that SummerSlam match. You know, they still have a lot of animosity. They never really solved it after. But it's gonna be they're gonna have to soon, and it's gonna come. It's gonna come. But that I'm kind of surprised though, because we've known that to Jey Uso, you know, they've always, you know, done anything for each other, but so this is really surprising. We got to see how this plays out. Really excited.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, it would be stupid if they did just go back together. So I like how we're getting a little bit.
You got to get Roman involved for them to go back together.
Let's talk about the main event quick. We have Tiffany Stratton and Rhea Ripley taking on.
That was the main event.
Yeah,
I didn't watch the main event. That was the main event. Holy hell, that's awful.
And they're taking on World Women's Champion Liv Morgan and Raquel. Raquel powerbombs Liv on top of both women on the floor. And then NIA JAX comes out and attacks Rhea and Raquel. Rhea headbutts Nia. Liv attacks Rhea, but then Nia hits a Samoan drop to Liv and an Annihilator. Nia then yells at Tiffany to cash in, but before Tiffany can, Dominic pulls Liv out. We have less than a minute to close up our episode. What are your thoughts on
that? Tiffany, I didn't watch the main event, so I don't really know. But all I'm gonna say is Tiffany's gonna cash in on Nia.
And Nia just destroyed everybody. So Liv Morgan's gonna be coming after Nia on SmackDown. I'm excited for SmackDown more because I'm more into the Kevin Owens Cody Rhodes storyline.
Yeah, I thought I'd never say this, but yeah, low-key, me too. Ross fell off a little bit.
Well, with that, thank you for joining us.